What up, guys? It's your girl Twilight. Today's video topic comes from my Patreon, where you guys were able to vote and let me know what the next video topic is that you wanted to see. So I'm very happy to be presenting this today because it gives a voice to my listeners and other like minds and people who just want to hear my perspective or opinion on this particular topic. So let's get into it. Number one, observe. One of the things that I talked about probably early on, if you are an avid Twilight follower, is that we were going to go through such a shift that we weren't going to be prepared in any way at all. Even if you are fasting, even if you are praying, so many things are being revealed now that were once called conspiracy theories, and so it kind of shifts the mindset. It's almost like the things that we thought were tangible are no longer tangible, and it almost makes this like being on a movie, television show, if you will. And so it's almost like science fiction nearly. And we're really seeing some supernatural things come to life and present themselves right in front of our faces, even though we were programmed and taught that everything is tangible, three-dimensional, you can sense it with your five senses. There's just so many things coming up. And even people who we considered sleepers, who weren't woke, are now questioning their reality. What that is doing is that is overall changing the landscape of collective consciousness. Because the comfort zones that we consider to be the sleepers that they were in, many of them are being pushed out of their comfort zone and they're unraveling. Okay? Now, us as spiritualists and people who do inward work and are into spirituality are still not, we're still going to be affected by what is happening in collective consciousness. As such, there is an increased amount of anxiety that is happening in collective consciousness. I'm going to say this again. There is an increased amount of anxiety that is happening in collective consciousness. But in our everyday experience, many people are going through changes like they have never experienced before. Things that they never would have thought would ever happen to them. So I don't want to give you guys a run-of-the-mill understanding of how to best be able to stay grounded in this time and space, because even the healthiest and the most vigilant and centered spiritualist is being caught off guard by these almost abrupt and unexpected, seemingly impulsive changes that are happening both in our economy, with healthcare. People are losing family members. People are losing grip of reality. So there is just way too much going on to give you a run-of-the-mill spiritual breakdown. So I want to give you 5 things that will help you to stay grounded in this time frame. Now, of course, let's pay homage to the overall general way of remaining grounded. Still, you want to meditate, okay? Meditation is really good for quieting the mind, because in this time, anxieties are high, so meditation is still a good tool. You are experiencing, especially if you're empathic, the feelings of others, which is there is a heightened frequency shift. So because of things like joblessness and stimulus ending and inflation getting higher, there's a lot of pressure on people. And even if people are trying to get back to normal and they're traveling and they're not saying anything, the media is now putting fear right back at the center of people's worries and concerns. So you have to conscientiously say to yourself, as you are seeing things unravel, as you are getting more extreme news, as you are being privy to more fear, uncertainty, and doubt in our experience, you have to come back to your meditative practices that you've been doing for so long and realize that you have to observe, which means that you have to step away from the chatter, the reactions that you would have to the chatter, and truly just be an observationalist in this time. And try not to judge it. Try not to determine which direction it's going to go. And I know that is easier said than done. But this is going to allow you to not get caught up in the rapture of the tornado of energies and emotions and frequency changes that we are experiencing. Step 2, allow. Now, allow kind of goes along with observe, but it's a little bit different in that what I'm going to tell you to specifically allow is allow the changes in your life. In this time where we are going through a great shift, relationships are coming to an end. Cycles are coming to an end. New ideas, mindsets, abilities are coming online. Many people are changing the way that they've done or are used to doing things forever. And even as spiritual people, we can become very complacent in our own spirituality. Because we're not being able to have the luxury of a comfort zone in this time, we are going to have to become accustomed to abrupt, uncertain changes and allow them to be what they are. Even if you've been in a relationship with someone for years, you're going to have to allow that relationship to come to an end to allow something new to emerge. You may be comfortable with a certain group of friends or people, or comfortable at a specific job, or comfortable seeing things a certain way, or comfortable with certain ideologies proven to have been true year after year after year after year. One of the biggest things that's going to happen is you're going to be pushed and moved from your comfort zone, because at this time there isn't really a comfort zone that we can retreat to. So the best thing for you to do to not raise your anxiety, to not raise your fear, to not unravel yourself is to allow. And I myself have to remind myself, make sure you are allowing things to be what they are. You're going to come to new revelations about old things, old people, old ways of thinking, and you are going to have to adapt to that and not try to push against it, fight it, or fight the emotions that are going to come up. You may even go through periods where you are grieving certain relationships or certain levels of comfort that you once knew. And you're going to have to be okay with that process, even though there's so much going on. It's like, what the fuck? It's like all this stuff just coming from all different directions. But you are going to have to allow these major changes in your life to be what they are for something new to emerge that is going to fit better with what's going on in this time. All right, guys, so what you want to do, if you want to watch the rest of this video, you want to head to my Patreon. The link is in the description. The link is also in the comments. And you will, upon becoming a silver or a gold member, you will be able to access the entirety of this video, plus additional videos. Plus, I have the virtual class for the advanced shadow work, which include worksheets, videos, and meditations. Okay, so you want to head over to the Patreon, join right away so that you can become a member and get access to over 100 different videos on the topics of spirituality, trauma healing, codependency recovery, and self-love. All right, peace.